Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, champions in the making, listen carefully. There is one thing that separates the people who dream from the people who achieve. One thing that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. One thing that separates those who live in regret from those who live in victory. That one thing is discipline, not talent, not luck, not intelligence, not opportunity. Because you can have talent and waste it. You can get lucky and still lose it all. You can be intelligent and never apply it. You can have opportunities handed to you and never seize them. But discipline, that's the game changer. Now, what is discipline? Let's clear this up. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is not living a boring life. True discipline is self-control in action. It's the ability to do what you know you should do, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is waking up when the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. Discipline is going to the gym even when you're tired. Discipline is sticking to your study schedule when your friends are out partying. Discipline is choosing the long-term reward over the short-term pleasure. That's what discipline is, the bridge between your goals and your achievements. See, most people rely on motivation. They wait until they feel inspired. They wait until they're in the mood. They wait until conditions are perfect. But here's the hard truth. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth, right? You don't need motivation to drink water when you're thirsty. Why? Because you've trained yourself to do it. That's what discipline does. It makes success automatic. Winners are not winners because they're motivated every day. Winners are winners because they are disciplined every day. Without discipline, dreams stay dreams. Without discipline, goals remain wishes. Without discipline, potential never becomes reality. Think about it. How many people do you know who talk about what they want? I want to be rich. I want to get in shape. I want to be successful. But wanting doesn't get you there. Working gets you there. And consistent work requires discipline. Discipline is the root of freedom. Most people think discipline traps you, but the truth is the opposite. A lack of discipline traps you. Without discipline, you're a slave to your emotions, your laziness, your impulses. Discipline frees you. Because when you are disciplined, you control your time. You control your actions. You control your destiny. Look at athletes. Do you think a champion boxer becomes a champion because he trains only when he feels like it? No, he becomes a champion because he trains every day, rain or shine, tired or not, motivated or not. Look at entrepreneurs. Do you think the most successful business people built empires because everything went their way? No, they built those empires because they showed up every single day, even when things fell apart, even when they failed, even when everyone doubted them. Look at students who excel. They don't wait until exam week to cram. They discipline themselves to study a little every day, so when the test comes, they're ready. Discipline is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how much money you start with. It doesn't matter how much talent you're born with. Discipline can take you from nowhere to somewhere. Let's get deeper. True discipline is not about perfection. It's not about being a machine. It's about consistency. Discipline means you win more days than you lose. You follow through more often than you quit. You keep your promises to yourself. Discipline is not about never messing up. It's about not giving up when you mess up. Because the truth is, everyone stumbles, everyone fails, everyone has moments of weakness. But disciplined people don't stay down. They get back up and keep moving. True discipline is about building habits. Because habits are stronger than emotions. When something becomes a habit, it doesn't matter if you're motivated. It gets done. Now let's be real. Why do so many people fail at discipline? Because discipline is uncomfortable. Discipline means sacrifice. Discipline means pain, and most people are addicted to comfort. They want the results but not the process. They want the trophy but not the training. They want the success but not the struggle. But here's the truth: discipline is the price of success. You either pay the price of discipline today or you pay the price of regret tomorrow. And regret is far heavier than discipline. So how do you become disciplined? How do you transform from someone who struggles with consistency into someone who is unstoppable? Step 1, start small. Most people fail because they try to change everything overnight. They go from 0 to 100. They try to overhaul their entire life in 1 week, and of course they burn out. Discipline is built like a muscle. You don't lift the heaviest weight on your first day in the gym. You start light. You build up. Same with discipline. Start with small commitments. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Read 10 pages of a book a day. Do 10 push-ups. Stick with it. Once that becomes natural, increase it. The power of small wins builds confidence, and confidence fuels more discipline. Step 2, keep promises to yourself. Think about it. Every time you tell yourself you'll do something and don't do it, you lose trust in yourself. You weaken your discipline. But every time you follow through, you strengthen that muscle. You start to believe in yourself. You start to trust that when you say, I'll do it, you will. That trust is priceless. That's the foundation of true self-discipline. Step 3, control your environment. Discipline doesn't mean you rely on willpower alone. Willpower is limited. Environment is powerful. If you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food in your house. If you want to study, put your phone in another room. If you want to wake up early, put your alarm clock across the room. Make discipline easier by removing temptation and surrounding yourself with cues that push you towards success. Step 4, embrace discomfort. Discipline is about training your mind and body to do the hard things. Comfort zones create average lives. Growth lives outside the comfort zone. When you embrace discomfort, you stop fearing it. You stop running from it. You start using it as fuel. That's when you truly become unstoppable. So remember this, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is power. Discipline is freedom. You want success. You want growth. You want to achieve the impossible. Then forget about waiting for motivation. Forget about waiting for the perfect moment. Forget about waiting for someone to save you. Discipline yourself day in, day out. Win the small battles. Keep the promises. Embrace the discomfort. And I promise you, success will come out of nowhere, because discipline creates success, and true discipline creates greatness. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's go deeper. You've heard me say discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. You've heard me say discipline is the fire that burns long after motivation fades. But let me tell you something even more powerful. Discipline doesn't just change your habits, it changes your identity. When you practice discipline, you're not just doing tasks. You're telling yourself, this is who I am. You're shifting from being someone who tries to someone who becomes. See, most people think, I want to be disciplined so I can reach my goals. That's the wrong order. You don't wait to become disciplined after achieving success. You achieve success because you decide to become a disciplined person first. When you keep your promises to yourself, when you do what you said you'd do, you start building an identity that says, I am the type of person who follows through. I am the type of person who finishes what I start. I am the type of person who doesn't quit. And once that identity takes root, your actions follow automatically. Let's be clear, discipline and feelings are enemies. Feelings will tell you, stay in bed, hit snooze. Discipline will tell you, get up, there's work to do. Feelings will tell you, eat the junk food. Discipline will tell you, fool your body with what makes you strong. Feelings will tell you, skip the workout, skip the reading, skip the effort. Discipline will tell you, show up, do it anyway. If you let feelings control your life, you will live a life of excuses. But if you let discipline control your life, you will live a life of excellence. Because discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline cares about who you're becoming. Think of the greats. Kobe Bryant, one of the most disciplined athletes of all time, didn't become legendary because he was born talented. Talent started the fire, but discipline kept it burning. He trained at 4 a.m. when most people were still asleep. He took thousands of shots when others were partying. He obsessed over fundamentals when others got bored. That's not luck. That's not feelings. That's discipline. And here's the thing, you don't need to be Kobe Bryant to apply this. You don't need to be an athlete or a billionaire. The principle is universal: repetition plus discipline equals mastery. Another truth, discipline is the art of delayed gratification. Most people lose because they trade what they want most for what they want now. They choose Netflix over studying. They choose fast food over fitness. They choose gossip over growth. But disciplined people make the harder choice. They choose what they want most, not what they want now. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because success is not built in a single day. It's built in the moments where you say, no, not today. I'm sticking to the plan. That's why disciplined people look unstoppable. They've trained themselves to resist the pull of instant pleasure and focus on the bigger prize. So how do you do it? Step 5 in building discipline: structure your day. Chaos kills discipline. If you wake up with no plan, you'll drift. You'll waste hours. You'll let distractions win. But when you plan your day, when you schedule your priorities, you take control, create routines, wake up at the same time, block time for your work, your training, your learning, make your discipline non-negotiable. Because when you design your day, you design your destiny. Step 6, consistency beats intensity. Anybody can go hard for one day. Anybody can put in crazy effort once, but the people who win, the people who rise, the people who dominate are the ones who stay consistent. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to do something every day. Don't read a book in one day. Read 10 pages every day. Don't run a marathon tomorrow. Run 1 mile every day. Don't try to build a business empire in a week. Take one step every day. Consistency compounds. Small actions repeated daily lead to massive results. That's the mathematics of discipline. Step 7, accountability. Discipline grows stronger when someone is watching. Not because you fear judgment, but because accountability sharpens commitment. Find a coach, a mentor, a friend, or even an online community. Share your goals. Track your progress. Be honest when you slip. When you know someone is watching, when you know you'll have to face the mirror of accountability, your discipline strengthens. But let me tell you this, the ultimate accountability is to yourself. Because at the end of the day, you can fool others, but you can't fool the person in the mirror. Step 8, reward yourself wisely. Discipline is not about living a miserable life. It's about balance. Reward your discipline with small wins. Finish a week of workouts. Celebrate with a rest day. Hit your study goals. Enjoy some downtime. Crush your business targets. Take yourself out. Rewards fuel sustainability. But make sure the reward doesn't destroy the progress. Don't undo a week of healthy eating with a binge. Don't undo months of work with laziness. Reward smart, not reckless. Now let's talk about the mindset. Because discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. Disciplined people think long term. They don't ask, what do I feel like doing right now? They ask, what do I need to do right now to create the future I want? Disciplined people see obstacles as training. They don't cry about difficulty. They welcome it. Because they know discomfort is the doorway to strength. Disciplined people measure themselves against yesterday, not against others. They don't compare, they improve. That's the mindset, that's the attitude, and that's the key to greatness. But let's expose the enemy. Excuses. Excuses destroy discipline. Excuses whisper, I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start tomorrow. I don't feel ready. But here's the raw truth. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable, and every excuse steals a piece of your future. Discipline silences excuses. Discipline says, I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if it's hard. I don't care if it's inconvenient. I said I would do it, and I'm doing it. That voice, that iron voice of discipline, is what separates winners from quitters. Here's something powerful. Discipline doesn't just prepare you for success, it attracts success. When you're disciplined, opportunities find you. People notice, they respect consistency, they trust reliability. The disciplined student gets scholarships. The disciplined athlete gets the call to the big leagues. The disciplined entrepreneur attracts investors. The disciplined creator builds an audience. Opportunity doesn't chase lazy people. It chases disciplined people. And here's the paradox: the more disciplined you are, the freer you become. Financial discipline gives you freedom from debt. Health discipline gives you freedom from disease. Time discipline gives you freedom from chaos. Mental discipline gives you freedom from stress. Discipline is not chains, it's keys. Keys that unlock every door you've been banging on. So remember this, discipline is not just about what you do today. It's about the life you create tomorrow. Discipline is identity. Discipline is mindset. Discipline is the language of success. Stop waiting for feelings. Stop making excuses. Stop settling for average. Build the muscle of discipline. Train it daily, protect it fiercely. And when the world looks at you and asks, how did you get here? You'll know the answer. You didn't get here by chance. You didn't get here by luck. You didn't get here by talent alone. You got here because of discipline. Discipline is not just about the big decisions we make. It's about the little ones too. It's not only about the times when we have to choose between staying up late and waking up early. It's also about the moments when no one is watching. True discipline reveals itself in silence. When there are no cameras, no applause, no external rewards, only you and your decisions. That is when discipline is tested. That is when character is formed. Think about it. Anyone can be disciplined when they are motivated. Anyone can wake up early for a week when they feel the fire of excitement burning within them. But what happens when the excitement dies? What happens when the results don't show up as quickly as you expected? What happens when the grind feels endless and you see no progress? That's when most people quit. That's when most people fall off track. But the truly disciplined person doesn't stop. Why? Because their discipline isn't dependent on motivation. It's built on commitment. Motivation is temporary. but discipline is permanent. Motivation will come and go, but discipline is the anchor that keeps you grounded, that keeps you consistent even in the storm. Let me tell you this, if you wait until you feel like it, you will never succeed. Feelings are fickle. Feelings change with the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. Discipline is saying, I will do it whether I feel like it or not. Discipline is showing up when you're tired, when you're unmotivated, when you don't see results, and still doing the work. This is where success begins. Success doesn't belong to the most talented. It doesn't belong to the smartest. It doesn't even belong to the luckiest. Success belongs to the most disciplined, to the ones who refuse to let their emotions dictate their actions, to the ones who stay the course when everyone else has quit. Let's talk about excuses. Excuses are the enemy of discipline. Excuses are the soft whispers of comfort telling you it's okay to skip today. Excuses are the lies you tell yourself to protect your laziness. And excuses are easy to make. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. I need motivation first. Every excuse is a chain that keeps you locked away from your potential. But here's the truth. Every single person has the same 24 hours in a day. Every single person gets tired. Every single person faces struggles. The difference between the disciplined and the undisciplined is not in their circumstances. It's in their choices. Disciplined people choose progress over excuses. They choose responsibility over comfort. They choose to keep moving forward even when every part of their body screams to stop. That is why they rise. That is why they succeed. The foundation of true discipline. Let me give you the foundation of true discipline in 3 parts: clarity of purpose without a clear why. Discipline will collapse. If you don't know why you're pushing yourself, why you're sacrificing, why you're suffering, then sooner or later you'll quit. You need a vision that fuels you, a purpose that keeps you alive in the darkest nights. Discipline is not about occasional bursts of effort. It's about daily commitment. The small things matter. The habits you form in private determine the life you live in public. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Discipline is as much mental as it is physical. You need to learn how to silence the voice of doubt, how to push back against the urge to quit, how to master your emotions instead of letting them master you. With these 3 pillars, clarity, consistency, and control, you can build unshakable discipline. There is no discipline without sacrifice. To say yes to greatness, you must say no to comfort. To say yes to your dreams, you must say no to distractions. Ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Are you willing to sacrifice sleep? Are you willing to sacrifice weekends? Are you willing to sacrifice temporary pleasure for permanent success? The undisciplined person avoids sacrifice. They want the reward without the work, the victory without the struggle, the success without the suffering. But discipline teaches you this: the price must always be paid. And if you don't pay the price of discipline, you will pay the price of regret. Which pain do you prefer, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? One hurts for a moment, the other hurts for a lifetime. Discipline turns you into a warrior, not just physically, but mentally. A disciplined person carries themselves differently. They walk with focus. They speak with intention. They act with purpose. Why? Because they know they are in control. They know that every day they conquer themselves, they are moving closer to victory. And that's the ultimate battle, self-conquest. If you can master yourself, you can master anything. The disciplined person doesn't rely on luck. They don't pray for easy circumstances. They don't hope for shortcuts. They prepare, they train, they push, they endure. And because of that, they are ready for whatever life throws at them. Life is not fair. Life will test you. Life will break you if you let it. But if you are disciplined, you become unbreakable. The storms may rage, the obstacles may rise, the challenges may come, but discipline makes you immovable, unstoppable, untouchable. Now, let's get practical. How do you build discipline? How do you become the kind of person who stays consistent no matter what? Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one habit. Wake up 30 minutes earlier, exercise for 10 minutes a day, read 5 pages. Small actions compound into big results. Discipline is easier when your environment supports it. Remove distractions. Plan your day the night before. Make your goals visible. Build systems that make discipline automatic. Train yourself to wait. Don't grab the quick pleasure. Don't fall for the easy option. The longer you can delay gratification, the stronger your discipline becomes. Write down your goals. Measure your actions. Celebrate consistency, not just results. Progress fuels momentum, and momentum fuels discipline. Stop letting yourself off the hook. If you break a promise to yourself, acknowledge it. Take responsibility, then get back on track immediately. Remember, this discipline is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the weaker it becomes. People often think discipline is prison. They think discipline is restriction. But here's the truth: discipline is freedom. Discipline gives you freedom from regret. Discipline gives you freedom from guilt. Discipline gives you freedom from failure. When you are disciplined, you take control of your life. You're not a slave to procrastination, not a victim of laziness, not a prisoner of your emotions. You are free because you are in charge. And with that freedom, you can achieve anything. You can build the body you want. You can create the career you desire. You can live the life you dream of. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. And this, my friends, is the reason why discipline is the foundation of greatness. Without it, everything else crumbles. With it, even the impossible becomes possible. Now let's go deeper into the truth about discipline. Discipline is not about punishment. It's not about being harsh on yourself just for the sake of pain. True discipline is about alignment. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose, your habits with your vision, your daily life with your ultimate destiny. You see, without alignment, life becomes chaotic. People say they want success, but their actions align with laziness. People say they want health, but their actions align with junk food and excuses. People say they want freedom, but their actions align with procrastination, and that's why they never get what they want. Discipline brings everything into alignment. It is the force that makes sure your actions and your ambitions match. And when they match, when your daily habits are aligned with your deepest goals, then success is no longer a dream, it's a guarantee. Let me be real with you. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they don't have opportunities. They fail because they lack discipline. They start strong but don't finish. They talk big but act small. They want success, but they're not willing to pay the price. They quit too soon. They choose comfort too often. They give in to emotions too easily. Think about it. The gym is full in January, but by March, it's empty. Why? Lack of discipline. Students start their semester with excitement, but halfway through, they stop trying. Why? Lack of discipline. People set big goals for their careers, but as soon as obstacles come, they settle. Why? Lack of discipline. Discipline is not exciting, it's not glamorous, it's repetitive, it's boring. It's doing the same things day after day when nobody claps for you, when nobody notices. And that's exactly why most people avoid it. They want results without repetition. They want rewards without routine. But listen carefully, you cannot cheat discipline. You cannot trick it. Either you embrace it or you stay stuck where you are. Here's the beauty of discipline. It works in silence. While others are sleeping, you're working. While others are wasting time, you're building. While others are chasing pleasure, you're chasing purpose. And when the time comes, when the results finally show, people will look at you and call you lucky. They won't see the countless hours of unseen discipline. They won't see the mornings you woke up early, the nights you stayed late, the sacrifices you made. They won't see the blood, sweat, and tears. All they'll see is the result. And that's fine. Because discipline doesn't need applause. Discipline doesn't need recognition. Discipline rewards you in ways the world can never understand. Some of you are listening right now thinking, but I have nothing. I'm starting from nowhere. I don't have money. I don't have connections. I don't have talent. Let me tell you something, none of that matters. Discipline is the equalizer. Discipline is the great force that levels the playing field. You may not have the best resources, but you can have the best work ethic. You may not be the smartest, but you can be the most consistent. You may not come from privilege, but you can build power through persistence. History is full of stories of people who came from nothing, who had every reason to quit, but through discipline, they built everything. They refused to give in to their feelings. They refused to let their environment dictate their future. They refused to wait for luck. They created their own destiny through discipline. That's why discipline is so powerful. With it, you can rise from nowhere and achieve greatness that people never thought possible. Let me break something down that might change your life. You are not your feelings. Feelings are temporary. They are signals, but they are not commands. You may feel tired. That doesn't mean you quit. You may feel afraid. That doesn't mean you stop. You may feel lazy. That doesn't mean you give in. Discipline is the ability to act in spite of feelings. It is choosing principle over preference, choosing responsibility over comfort, choosing growth over ease. If you only act when you feel good, you'll never build anything. Winners act no matter how they feel. They've trained themselves to separate feelings from actions. They say, I may not feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's discipline. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside, it's inside. It's the inner voice that tells you to quit. It's the inner weakness that begs for comfort. It's the inner fear that tells you success is impossible. If you don't discipline that inner enemy, it will control your life. But if you conquer it, nothing can stop you. Every time you push past that inner voice, you get stronger. Every time you silence the excuse and take action, you gain power. Every time you master yourself, you take one more step toward mastering the world around you. Discipline is not about conquering others, it's about conquering yourself. So, what does a disciplined life look like? Let me paint you a picture. A disciplined life is structured. You wake up with purpose, not by accident. You don't let the day control you. You control the day. A disciplined life is intentional. You don't waste time scrolling endlessly or indulging in distractions. You invest your time in things that matter. A disciplined life is focused. You set goals and move toward them relentlessly. You don't let every little distraction pull you away from your vision. A disciplined life is consistent. You don't do things only when it's convenient. You do them because they are necessary. When you live this way, day after day, you may not notice the progress at first, but slowly, surely you will rise. You will become unstoppable. And when the world finally sees your success, they will call it sudden. But you will know it wasn't sudden at all. It was discipline. Discipline doesn't just change your life. It changes others too. A disciplined person becomes a leader because people respect consistency. They admire commitment. They are inspired by those who live with focus and purpose. When you are disciplined, you set an example for your family, your friends, your community. People see your life and realize that greatness is possible. You don't just talk about discipline, you embody it. And through your actions, you lead others to rise as well. True leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about example. And nothing sets a stronger example than discipline. So what do you get when you live with discipline? What is the reward for all this sacrifice, consistency, and effort? You get freedom. You get confidence. You get pride in yourself. You get success. But most importantly, you get transformation. Discipline transforms you from who you are into who you were meant to be. Discipline reveals the potential inside you that you never knew existed. Discipline shapes your character, builds your strength, and unlocks your destiny. Without discipline, you will always wonder, what if? With discipline, you will always know, I gave it my all. And that's the truth about discipline. It's not just about achieving success. It's about becoming the person capable of holding success. Without discipline, success will destroy you. With discipline, success will be sustained. We've talked about the power of discipline, how it aligns your actions with your destiny, and how it shapes your character. But now, let's talk about something deeper, how to become a truly disciplined person in the real world. Because let's be honest, it's easy to talk about discipline, but it's hard to live it. It's easy to say you want to change, but it's hard to follow through. That's why most people stay stuck. They never move from theory to practice. So, how do you move from good intentions to true discipline? Step 1T. Create a clear vision. Discipline without vision feels like punishment. If you don't know why you're waking up early, why you're grinding, why you're sacrificing, you'll eventually give up. Your vision is your fuel. It's the why behind your discipline. It's the future you're fighting for, the dream you refuse to give up on, the destiny that pulls you forward when your feelings are screaming at you to quit. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What life do I want to build? What will my future look like if I stay disciplined? What will my future look like if I don't? Clarity creates power. Once you know what you're aiming at, discipline becomes the bridge to get there. Step 20. Start small but stay consistent. Too many people destroy themselves by trying to do everything at once. They set massive goals, change their entire routine overnight, and then burn out. Discipline isn't about doing everything today. It's about doing something today and then doing it again tomorrow and the next day until it becomes who you are. Start small. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Drink more water. Go to the gym twice a week. Spend 20 minutes reading. Whatever it is, just start, because discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the weaker it becomes. So start small, build momentum, and once you master the small, you can handle the big. Step 30, build systems, not just goals. Goals are important. They give you direction. But goals alone don't make you disciplined. Systems do. A system is the structure that makes discipline automatic. It's the routine, the habits, the environment you create that pushes you toward your vision. If your goal is to lose weight, your system is meal prepping, scheduling workouts, and keeping junk food out of the house. If your goal is to build wealth, your system is budgeting, automatic savings, and investing consistently. If your goal is to master a skill, your system is daily practice, study, and feedback. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So ask yourself, what systems am I building? Do my systems make discipline easy or impossible? Step 4A, remove temptations. Let me be blunt, most of you are not failing because you're weak. You're failing because you're surrounded by temptation. You say you want to focus, but your phone is buzzing every 5 minutes. You say you want to get fit, but your kitchen is full of junk food. You say you want to save money, but you're constantly scrolling through online shopping sites. If you want discipline, you must design your environment for success. Remove temptations. Limit distractions. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. Willpower is limited. Environment is powerful. Build an environment that forces discipline. Step 5E. Embrace the boring. Here's the truth that nobody likes to admit: discipline is boring. Success is boring. Growth is boring. It's not fireworks and hype every day. It's repetition. It's the same drills, the same practices, the same routines over and over again. And that's why most people quit. They chase excitement instead of progress. They want something new instead of doing what works. But if you can embrace the boring, if you can fall in love with the grind, you will separate yourself from 99% of people. Because while they chase distractions, you're building mastery. While they quit, you're compounding results. Discipline is not about excitement. It's about endurance. Step 6A, master your morning. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. If you wake up late, hit snooze, scroll on your phone, and rush into chaos, you've already lost. But if you wake up with intention, if you control your first hour, you control your day. You don't need a complicated morning routine, but you do need discipline. Wake up on time, move your body, feed your mind, set your priorities. When you win the morning, you win the day. When you win enough days, you win the week. When you win enough weeks, you win the year. That's how discipline builds success. Step 7A, make discipline your identity. Most people say, I'm trying to be disciplined. That's the wrong mindset. Discipline isn't something you try, it's something you become. Identity drives behavior. If you see yourself as lazy, you'll act lazy. If you see yourself as disciplined, you'll act disciplined. So stop saying, I'm trying to work out. Say, I am an athlete. Stop saying, I'm trying to save money. Say, I am a disciplined steward of my finances. Stop saying, I'm trying to study. Say, I am a lifelong learner. When discipline becomes part of who you are, you no longer need to force it. It flows naturally from your identity. Step 8, accept pain. As the price of discipline always comes with pain. The pain of sacrifice, the pain of discomfort, the pain of delay. But here's the reality: you either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One is temporary, the other is permanent. Choose your pain wisely. Every great person you admire has scars of discipline. They endured pain others refused to face. And that pain became their power. Stop running from pain. Embrace it. It's the price of greatness. Step 9E. Track progress and stay accountable. What gets measured gets improved. If you don't track your actions, you'll never know if you're moving forward or falling behind. Discipline requires accountability. Write down your goals. Track your habits. Measure your progress. Find someone who will hold you accountable when you're tempted to quit. Left alone, your mind will always take the easy road. But when you bring accountability into the picture, you rise to a higher standard. Step 10, never negotiate with discipline. The moment you start negotiating with discipline, you lose. Maybe I'll skip today. Maybe I'll cheat just once. Maybe I'll relax for a while. No, discipline is non-negotiable. It's a standard, not a suggestion. The second you give yourself permission to compromise, you open the door to excuses. And once excuses enter, discipline exits. So set a standard for yourself and refuse to negotiate. Why discipline is freedom. Now let's destroy the biggest lie. People think discipline is restrictive. They think it steals freedom. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline creates freedom. When you're disciplined with money, you're free from debt. When you're disciplined with health, you're free from sickness. When you're disciplined with time, you're free from chaos. When you're disciplined with goals, you're free from regret. Discipline doesn't trap you. Lack of discipline traps you. Discipline sets you free. Discipline may not pay off instantly. You may not see results right away. But just like compound interest, discipline grows exponentially over time. The book you read today might not change your life, but 100 books over 3 years will. The workout you do today might not transform your body, but 300 workouts over a year will. The money you save today might not make you rich, but consistent saving over a decade will. Discipline compounds, and compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. The disciplined always win in the long run. If you want to be successful, you must decide today, will I live by feelings or will I live by discipline? Feelings change. Discipline remains. Feelings deceive. Discipline delivers. Feelings fade. Discipline builds forever. Choose discipline. Build discipline. Become discipline. And you will rise out of nowhere into the life you were destined to live. We've uncovered the strategies for building discipline, but now let's go even further. Because discipline is not just about building habits, it's about building a life. And if you want to build a life of greatness, discipline must be the foundation. Think about it like this. A skyscraper cannot stand on weak ground. The taller you want to rise, the deeper your foundation must be. That foundation is discipline. Without it, everything collapses. With it, everything becomes possible. One of the greatest gifts of discipline is resilience. Life will test you. Life will knock you down. Life will challenge you in ways you never expected. But discipline gives you the power to get back up. When you're disciplined, failure doesn't end you. It trains you. Setbacks don't crush you. They strengthen you. Challenges don't break you, they build you. Discipline is the armor that protects you when the storms of life come. And make no mistake, they will come. Nobody escapes pain, loss, or difficulty, but disciplined people rise while undisciplined people sink. Success without character is dangerous. Fame without foundation destroys people. Wealth without wisdom ruins lives. That's why discipline is essential. It builds your character. Character is who you are when nobody's watching. It's the decisions you make in private, the standards you keep when nobody else will know. Discipline shapes that character. When you resist temptation, your character grows. When you follow through on promises, your character strengthens. When you sacrifice today for tomorrow, your character matures. And here's the truth: success will test you more than failure ever will. If you don't have the discipline to handle success, success will crush you. The cost of undisciplined living. Let's flip the coin for a moment. What happens when you lack discipline? An undisciplined life is full of regret. It's full of unfinished dreams, wasted time, broken promises, and lost potential. The undisciplined student wastes their education. The undisciplined worker wastes their career. The undisciplined leader destroys their influence. The undisciplined dreamer dies with their dreams still inside them. Every day without discipline is a day you'll never get back. And one day, you'll wake up and realize time has run out. That's the price of undisciplined living. Now let's address something important: the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is a feeling. It's temporary. It comes and goes. You might watch a video, hear a speech, read a book, and feel motivated. But the next day, the motivation is gone. Discipline is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's consistent. It doesn't depend on emotion. It doesn't depend on hype. It's steady, reliable, unshakable. Motivation can start you, but discipline will keep you going. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire. Motivation is fragile, but discipline is unbreakable. That's why successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Let me be real with you: discipline is lonely. When you decide to live with discipline, you will separate yourself from the crowd. Your friends might not understand why you wake up early. Your peers might not understand why you're grinding when they're relaxing. People will call you obsessed, extreme, even crazy, and that's fine. Because success is not built in the crowd. It's built in the solitude of discipline. Discipline requires you to walk alone sometimes. But the loneliness of discipline is better than the regret of failure. Discipline also changes with the seasons of life. What you need as a student is different from what you need as a parent. What you need as an entrepreneur is different from what you need as an athlete. But the principle is the same: discipline adjusts, but it never disappears. No matter your season, you must ask, what does discipline look like for me right now? What sacrifices must I make in this stage of life? What habits will set me up for the next season? If you can adapt your discipline to your season, you will always be prepared. Discipline always demands sacrifice. You cannot have it all. You cannot eat your cake and keep it too. You cannot chase every pleasure and still expect to reach greatness. Every disciplined choice is a sacrifice: sacrificing sleep for early mornings, sacrificing comfort for growth, sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. The undisciplined avoid sacrifice. The disciplined embrace it. And the difference shows in their results. Sacrifice today creates freedom tomorrow. How to stay disciplined when you want to quit. There will be days when discipline feels impossible. Days when you don't want to get out of bed. Days when you question if it's worth it. In those moments, remember this: discipline is not about how you feel right now. It's about who you want to become in the future. Remind yourself of your vision. Look at the bigger picture. Focus on one step. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just take the next action. Revisit your why. Why did you start? What's at stake? Find accountability. Let someone push you when you feel weak. Remember the reward. Picture the victory that comes from staying disciplined. Quitting is always an option, but so is greatness. Choose wisely. Discipline as a daily decision. Discipline is not a one-time event. It's a daily decision. Every morning you wake up with a choice of feelings or discipline, excuses or execution, comfort or growth. Each day is a battle, and each choice builds your future. Win the day, you move forward. Lose the day, you fall behind. It's that simple. The good news, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Miss one day, but don't miss two. Fall down, but get back up quickly. Slip up, but return stronger. Discipline is not perfection, it's persistence. The unseen rewards of discipline. Some rewards of discipline are obvious. Success, health, wealth. But some rewards are invisible, and they're even more powerful. Confidence. When you live with discipline, you trust yourself. You know you can rely on you. Peace. When you're disciplined, you eliminate chaos. Your life feels ordered, not scattered. Respect. People respect those who live with standards. Influence. Discipline gives you credibility. Others follow those who lead by example. Joy. The satisfaction of discipline is deeper than the shallow thrill of indulgence. These invisible rewards make discipline priceless. Here's the ultimate truth. Discipline is the road to destiny. Every great person you admire walked this road. Every hero, every leader, every champion lived by discipline. They were not born extraordinary. They became extraordinary through disciplined choices, day after day, year after year. And now it's your turn. The question is not whether discipline works. It does. The question is whether you will walk the road, whether you will embrace the daily grind, whether you will sacrifice comfort for greatness. Destiny is waiting. Discipline is the key. Discipline. It's the bridge, the compass, the anchor, and the wings. As we've journeyed through this speech, we've explored discipline as a mindset, as a practice, as a lifestyle, and as the very foundation of success. But now, as we reach the closing of this message, I want to leave you with a truth that echoes beyond your years, a truth that can become your legacy. Discipline isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become and what you leave behind for those who come after you. Think about it. When you live with discipline, you are showing the world what's possible. You're proving that no matter where you start, no matter what odds are stacked against you, no matter how tough the road is, you can rise, you can build, you can win. And that's the kind of story that inspires others. Because people don't remember those who lived easy. They remember the ones who fought. They remember the ones who sacrificed. They remember the ones who stood tall when the storms came. Discipline builds legacy. Your children, your family, your community, your peers, they are watching you whether you realize it or not. And what they see in you will shape their own definition of what's possible. When you choose discipline over comfort, you're not just choosing for yourself. You're setting an example. You're saying this is how you fight. This is how you push. This is how you rise. Your discipline becomes a light. And that light will guide others long after you're gone. The power of one disciplined life. Never underestimate the power of one disciplined life. History is filled with individuals who changed the world, not because they had the most talent, not because they had the most resources, but because they had the discipline to endure, to persist, to show up, and to keep going when everyone else stopped. Discipline is rare, and that's why it's powerful. Most people quit. Most people let feelings dictate their actions. Most people stop when it hurts. But you have the chance to be different. You have the chance to be the one who stays, the one who fights, the one who keeps moving. And let me tell you this, the world rewards the rare. The disciplined are the ones who break records, who write history, who inspire generations. True success isn't defined by what you own. It's not in the car you drive, the money you make, or the titles you collect. True success is in who you become when no one is watching. It's in the habits you keep, the promises you fulfill to yourself, the integrity you maintain, and the way you consistently pursue excellence even when it's inconvenient. Discipline shapes your character, and your character shapes your destiny. When discipline feels heavy, yes, discipline will feel heavy. It will feel uncomfortable. It will test you, stretch you, and sometimes even break you down. But here's the paradox: the weight of discipline is far lighter than the weight of regret. Regret is a burden you carry for a lifetime. Discipline is a burden you carry for a moment, and it pays you back with freedom, growth, and fulfillment. So when it feels hard, remind yourself, this is the price. This is the cost of greatness. This is the way. I don't want you to just listen and feel inspired. Inspiration without action is just entertainment. So here's what I want you to do. Not what you want to have, who you want to become. That's the foundation. Choose one discipline today, just one. Maybe it's waking up early. Maybe it's training daily. Maybe it's reading every night. Maybe it's cutting out one bad habit. Start small, but start. Commit to consistency. Do it for 30 days without excuses. Build momentum. Create a chain that you refuse to break. Track your growth. Journal it. Write it down. Watch your progress. Success loves measurement. Expand over time. Add more disciplines as you grow stronger. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it becomes. The final push, I want you to imagine yourself 10 years from now. Do you want to look back with pride, knowing you fought the battles, embraced the grind, and built a life of purpose? Or do you want to look back with regret, knowing you let excuses steal your destiny? The choice is yours, and it's made every single day. Not once, not twice, daily. In the little moments and the decisions no one sees. Discipline or regret, success or failure, growth or stagnation. And here's the truth. Your future self is begging you to choose discipline today. Let me leave you with this oath, a declaration you can carry in your heart every single day. I will not let feelings dictate my destiny. I will not surrender to excuses. I will not waste the gift of time. I will embrace the pain of discipline because I know it leads to freedom. I will rise. I will fight. I will endure, and I will win not by chance but by choice. This is the warrior's path. This is the disciplined life. This is the way to build success out of nowhere. And if you walk it, if you truly live it, there will come a day when the world will not only respect you, it will remember you. So choose discipline, choose greatness, choose your legacy. The stage is yours. The time is now. Go be unstoppable.